What's up, YouTubers? This is a short video on my bus trip. Some observations. I took the bus from Chetumal to San Cristobal, and it's my first time doing it. I think I took the long way. If you go online, there's one bus that leaves at 1 o'clock in the morning. That really sucked. Anyhow, it was very interesting because even though I realized we're close up there, they're close to the border of Belize, the police checked our ID documents about 6 times on the bus. And when I say us, I mean all the foreigners. There's some Nicaraguans, Europeans, and Americans on there, and maybe a few others. But anyways, they even checked the documents of some of the Mexicans too. Kind of surprised. I've never really seen that. Normally in southern or northern Mexico, they check your documents once or twice, and that's only been in the last few years. Another observation is they're now, with one exception, every single bus station, like from Mexico City to the border to everywhere in between, they ask you for your ID documents just to buy a ticket. I think this all has to do with stopping the immigration from Central America to North America, but they seem to really be cracking down. No, I know they're taking a while at the bus or anything, but they do constantly get on the bus. I was surprised. From Chetumal to San Cristobal six times. Excuse me. Anyhow, I wasn't really prepared for that. So some changes have been, it seems like, implemented. You hear online all the time how Mexico's cracking down on immigration. I don't really think they are. I just think they're checking your documents more and more. Now, there was a guy online who said he was arrested for 4 days, or he was, well, I don't want to say arrested. He was taken off wherever he was from, put in jail for 4 days, and he whined about it. Now, I'm not saying that's good or bad. I'm just saying I found out later he's a, not a protester. He's like a reporter, but I don't know what to call him. He's a reporter basically saying bad things about Mexico. So I think, personally, I think that's why they detained him and put him in jail for 4 days. And again, I'm not saying I agree with that, but he's constantly bad-mouthing the government. So that's one thing in Latin America you don't do, is bad-mouth the government publicly and make videos about it. In fact, I know one person, I think another person, who were kidnapped him. And when you realize how involved the cartels and the police are involved in kidnapping, one thing you don't want to do is make a video about it. I mean, you can if you go to the States and you're never coming back. I still wouldn't do it. But anyways, certain political things like that, you shouldn't make a lot of videos about. But this guy was a reporter. So a lot of this news going around that Mexico's cracking down on immigrants or migrants or tourists who are overstaying their visa or whatever, it's not exactly true. That's like if you're like pissing people off and saying things that are inappropriate or embarrass people or cause people embarrassment. But anyways, I was surprised by how many times we were checked for our documents. Now, I don't know what would happen if your documents aren't in order. Usually, they give you 20, 30, 40, 50 bucks, whatever. And I've seen it many, many times where your documents, nothing happens, you don't need to give them any money. I don't know if that would be, if that happened now, if there'd be a big change, you'd have to give them a contribution or something, but I've never actually seen it happen. So for the people who overstay their visa or whatever, I don't think you have anything to worry about. I still think it's, like one of my friends says, it's Jose. It's really, they don't really care. Now, he lives in Merida. I realize he's a little bit of a controversial figure, but like, if you fly down here, I don't usually fly though, but if you fly down here, presumably you have a passport. As of right now today, you can walk across the border in Nogales and all the other places, and you're supposed to get your passport stamped. I did. And now that they're checking all that, they'd probably ask for money if you did. But usually what they do in the past, and that happened where my passport was stamped, but they couldn't read it, they couldn't see it or whatever, so they just told me to get it stamped at another immigration point. So like I was in Mexico for 2 or 3 months. I left for Guatemala. I had them stamp it right on my way out of Guatemala, or Mexico into Guatemala. So I was basically here for an hour, got the stamp, and then they left. Didn't ask me for money or nothing. So anyways, it happens. I wouldn't worry about it. But there's not a scare stories how they're really cracking down on migration. I think they're just doing a show of force type thing. And if your documents are in order, you just have to show them constantly, which is a pain in the neck. The other thing too is, like 2 or 3 years ago, you never had to show any kind of ID to buy a ticket. Now they seem to. In the past, I've shown them my ID documents from Central America, my ID document, like my driver's license from the States, and that was fine. I don't know if that worked now. I just normally show them my passport because usually that's what they want. So times are changing. Maybe this is going to be permanent. I don't know. Maybe those are just my few observations of traveling around the last 3 or 4 days or so. So, like my previous video, I don't know when this will be uploaded because I can't get any good internet right now. I was hoping to be in one of my favorite hotels here, which is in San Cristobal, and it was, I don't know if it's full, if they're shut down for renovations, but they're just closed right now. And anyhow, like, share, leave a comment. Thanks.